not going to no Lenithia Lounge. It sounds old. It gives me white pants, white shirt, and open-toe shoes. And that's not something I'm going to go to. I promise you that. I don't understand why you think that and calling it Lenithia. First of all, your name is not appealing at all. It sounds like a vacuum cleaner. Go get the Lenithia. I'm sorry. Nene, I'm sorry.
So Cardi B and Offset are now kissing and hugging up at her birthday party. I don't know if it was what 30th birthday party or what birthday party, but she recently had a birthday party, and I was watching a video of it, and it looked like no one had masks on. I don't know where she was, but my God, the way I rock my mask when I'm out in public, I would have been in there masked all up, but they just throwing ass and shaking and stuff. But apparently they were hugged up and, you know, all touchy-feely, and like a couple of days before that, or maybe recently, he bought her what was it, Lamborghini, a Rolls Royce. Yeah, it was on TMZ. That's where I saw it. On TMZ, he bought her a Rolls Royce. So it's so funny to me because it's like, again, if you watch my other video that I talked about them, I think this is all purely a business transaction. Again, he was going through a lot of financial things, situations. I think he had owed some tax dollars, and he had some investments going on. Some went bad, some went good because of the pandemic. And so I think he was trying to tie up his loose ends, and for her, her relationship seemed to be a hot commodity. It helps her sell her records, it helps her sell her music. And so I think they gambled on this, and they decided, okay, let's fake a divorce, let's fake a separation. And now you got them out, you know, out and about. So I don't know what they're filing a divorce for, and she's saying can't be amicable, you know, they can't get back irreconcilable differences because you're out in public kissing together. So how can, you know, the court accept that? And so I'm just trying to figure out how this one is going to play out. Figure she'll drop an album, they'll end up going through like this tough time. She'll drop an album to talk about that tough time so we can buy the music, and then after the album they'll get together for him to drop his album and his project, and it'll be the resurrection, the whole Beyonce Jay-Z thing. But see, B and Jay-Z had some longevity in their relationship, so they could play that. Y'all necessarily can't play that. And so it's so funny to watch y'all play in people's faces like this, and you're not gonna play in my face. I see it coming, sweetheart. I see it coming. But get your dollar. Do what you need to do to get your dollar. I'm not gonna hate on you at all. But one other thing I think I do find interesting about that whole story was that a fan was on Cardi's page and talking about Offset, and so Cardi didn't like that, and so she went off on him like, I'm not gonna accept this kind of bullshit talking about my man like this, you know. And so it's just so funny, like, you know, if you're not watching these little bitty signs that they're doing, they're still keeping their relationship intact. You're not gonna mess up his persona at the expense of us getting a divorce, but at the same time they're still trying to show that, you know, I'm following it. Like, I don't get it. It's a pure BS if you ask me, but I'll stay tuned to this story. I can't wait for her to drop an album to talk about it, because that's the only, let's be honest, that's the only thing that she really could talk about at this point. I hope it isn't any drama, any hater drama. Like, we're so sick of that. Maybe you can talk to us about your stripping days when it was hard, but the majority of it will be about your relationship. So we'll stay tuned. The news of Tory Lanez and all things that sound criminal and sound like you should be in jail for whatever time you're facing. We don't know what the hell's going on. Tory Lanez recently shared a picture of his, was it 7-year-old son? A picture of his son, and he put a little message under it, and this is what the message said. It says, I'll never let anything or anybody stop me from being a real role model and great father in your life. You would be heartbroken if I ever went anywhere. I'll always be with you. You're my everything, Kai, and I love and got you forever. And I hope that's the way you pronounce his name. And he's an adorable little baby. And so, you know, me putting my critical thinking hat on, first thing when I read that was, okay, this is his criminal defense. Should they go to court? Should he try to take a plea? Should anything goes down, he's gonna say, I'm the sole custody of my son. And if I go to jail, no one's gonna take care of him. So I think this is him providing that legal defense strategy in his PR stance. Now he has the right PR team. The problem with that, to someone like me who have friends who are attorneys, it sounds like you're guilty. Like you don't, in that statement, it came off that I protest too much. Like if something happens to me, I got to take care of my child. So that's unfortunate. I do think that this went really, really south really, really quickly, especially for someone like him. And to release an album with no sort of sympathy to, the woman could have lost her leg. There was no sympathy for that. It was just you defending allegedly what was your part in it, and to hear you say that you had nothing to do with it and there's still more to come out, it just makes it seem like I don't know, Tory Lanez, I don't know what to say, man. I never want to see anyone face 22 years in jail, but at the same time I really want to know what happened, the truth. And if you and Megan can come to some sort of reconciliation, whether it is you having to go to jail or whether it is you doing a public apology or you guys sitting down and having a conversation. But this is crazy. And something else I find crazy too is the people that are around Megan. How could something like this have happened at all? You know what I mean? You would think that, there would be someone who would have the mindset and the knowledge to know that you need to have security here, or we may not need to ride here. We need to have another car. Do you have a security guard with you? What is going on? And then, I don't know. So we'll stay tuned to this story too. So, oh boy. So in the most fronting of news, I was stumbled upon Nene Leakes video where she was talking about, first it started where she was, let me just start this. Let me say this. I like Nene Leakes. I like Nene Leakes for the fact that she started from the bottom and now she's here. I like that about anybody. When you start from the bottom and you're here. The stuff that I don't like about people is when they do that transition and then they start fronting. They got here now. Oh, I'm woe is me. I'm the hottest thing out. I hate that because it's like, but you were just here with no teeth and no contour nose, and now you're like, okay. So Nene Leakes put out this video, and she started the video by saying, everybody wants to know what Nene Leakes is doing, and blah blah blah, and and it's just like, okay, great. She didn't get to what she was doing until like 7 minutes in, because she spent most of that time talking about, this is what I've been, I'm thank you for all my supporters who've been loving on me and sending me support, and I'm clearing my circle, and I'm trying to be the best me, and I'm trying to focus on getting new businesses. But so here are the things about the video that stood out the most to me. One, she has no fucking idea of what her next plan is. She said in that video, I'm always looking to invest and I have an entrepreneurial mindset. So send me ideas of investment strategies or where I should be putting my money. Nene Leakes, if you have all that money and you have all those resources and you still have yet to figure out a good source of income for yourself or a good investment strategy for yourself, something is completely wrong with you. Really, it is. Look around at your peers. There's no reason why Candy is as successful as she is. She's figured out her niches in almost every freaking aspect of it. That's how Bedroom Candy started. The Dungeon, all of that started from the show. So you have yet to sort of brand yourself off of that. Like it reeks laziness, and it reeks that you just sat around for the longest and thought that your namesake and your brand was good enough and it was gonna sell itself. But beef doesn't sell itself for long. Like, it gets eaten up eventually, and then you have new beef, and then that gets eaten up, like your old beef. And so it's like, I'm just very shocked about that. So that was the one thing. And then the second thing on there, she talked about her lounge, Lenithia Lounge. Now, anyone who's in opening businesses, again, I have friends in all kinds of businesses, and anyone who knows opening a business up right now in the pandemic, especially in the fourth quarter, so you're in the last quarter of the year where everyone's doing sales and everyone's trying to get their last, push in to get bring in their revenue, and you're gonna open up a restaurant where your bottom line, your risk to close is much higher than those who have already been around. It sounds like you really haven't had a really good business team like in your atmosphere, because clearly you shouldn't be opening up a lounge. And you were talking about how you wanted to be cool and chill and hip nights and gay nights. I already see what this is gonna be. What you should have done is sort of opened up like a, take your name off of it, but sort of a Real Housewives of Atlanta lounge where they come into the lounge. I know you can't use the brand, I know you can't use the name, but get where I'm going. Where, you know, when you come to Atlanta and the show is on, you can always come here and stop and either eat, come see with Nene, where you can open this up in franchises in different states, where now we are tying the show in to a place where we can go. Because we know you from the show, but you also want this lounge. I'm not going to no Lanithia lounge. It sounds old. It gives me white pants, white shirt, and open-toed shoes. And that's not something I'm gonna go to. I promise you that. I don't understand why you think that in calling it Lanithia. First of all, your name is not appealing at all. It sounds like a vacuum cleaner. Go get the Lanithia. I'm sorry. Nene, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, baby, but no. Sweetheart, you need to go get one of these McDonald's meals. How Travis Scott got a meal? I know you can get a meal. Let me stop. But Nene, all I'm saying is that it doesn't sound like you have really anything going on. And that's why I didn't want you to burn your bridges with Andy Cohen and all those people. But you've done it. Oh well, let's get over it. Moving on to the next thing. You might need to go kiss Tyler Perry's butt. Because I think that's the only network that might give you some type of play on a TV show. You might need to go get on one of those shows. Or you might need to be trying to work in a deal out with Netflix. But what, you know, I don't know. They might be trying to get a deal with Andy Cohen, and his deal might come with, you can't book Nene for 5 years until my show is done. That's how they do stuff in Hollywood. So we'll see how this one plays out. Tboz and TLC, you know, it's so bad how the industry turns their back on artists when something tragic happens to them, or they are heavily criticized in the public or in the media for anything, for any traumatic thing. I always go back to Chris Brown. Chris Brown is he's a great artist. He sings well. He's a great performer. He can keep my energy. I remember going to see him in a concert. This was when that song was out with Jordan. And I don't know if he also did a song with W Flavor, W Gum, some Bubble Mint Gum Fresh commercial, but I literally was sitting there watching him the whole time like, get the fuck out of here. This boy is the bomb. So, and I say all that to say that when he and Rihanna went into their situation, his whole career took a hit. For now, you look years back, there's so many men who've done some of the similar things to their women in the public that he has, and haven't necessarily sustained as much as he has to his career, but he did. And so in this next story, I say that Tboz felt like after the death of Left Eye, the career turned their entire backs on them. And I could totally see that. I could totally see how that has happened, because there were so many times where they could have been inserted into a program, an event, or, you know, been invited somewhere, and for some reason they're not there. You don't see them at the table. And I don't know if that has to do with their PR, their management, or they just don't have the budget. But she recently did an interview with Jason from Hollywood Unlocked, and she had said that the whole industry turned on us, everybody, despite feeling doubted from her peers. She said that L.A. Reid from LaFace Records was one of the people who turned their backs on her. When Lisa died, the whole industry turned on us, everybody. It was like, it's over for them. They're never going to do it again. And I kept saying, nah. L.A. Reid, I'll call out to him. I don't care. L.A., everybody, all the big executives, we put LaFace on the map, made them all kind of millions. Tboz recalled a time when TLC, I remember this when they were performing for the VH1 Super Bowl, Nelly pulled out. He said he had to get a haircut instead. Drake pulled out, and he said he was working on his own performance, and so they ended up doing the performance by themselves, and she said it turned out really well. But I really didn't even know Drake was around at that time to even be relevant. But yeah, so it's sad that they ended out that way. And she's going through her own health. I think she has sickle cell. So shout out to Tboz and TLC. Just know that you still do have fans who care about you.